Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
It's a very unhappy Devils Friday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from American Whiskey, across the street from Prudential Center, next to Championship Plaza. I'm your host, Sam Woo, here.
Sam was so upset he forgot today was Thursday.
Sam was so upset he can't even hear anything because it's so loud here at American Whiskey. Introducing from Beverly Hills, California, from the Michael J. Fox Studios, Scotty of Sirius XM Liquid Metal, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network as the Devils lay a stinker tonight at the Prudential Center, losing the Rangers 5-1. Lots to go over. We will try not to be doom and gloom and negative, but I was talked off the ledge, Scotty, of not starting the podcast with this brown paper bag over my head. Thank you to the fan of the podcast. It says, Sam, don't do it, man. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Okay. I'm down with that. That's fine. Definitely a tough game tonight, as everyone could see out there. But yeah, glad everyone's still having a good time over there at American Whiskey. Don't forget to tip your bartenders. Say hello to the great Sam Woo, and hello to everyone on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch and wherever the hell else we are streaming across the interwebs right now. Game number 56. Oh, the home woes continue for these New Jersey Devils. And of course, it doesn't get any easier when you're playing the first place New York Rangers, a team that has now won 9 games straight. So they are on a heater of heaters right now. And we were hoping, much like earlier in the year when the Devils ended the Florida Panthers, I think it was an 8-game win streak for them as well. Might have been 9. We ended their win streak. Was hoping we'd do the same against the Rangers, but alas, oh boy, did we get smoked tonight. And that's the only way to really talk about it. Isaac Poulter has been called up. Akira Schmid sent down for the old goaltending situation. I thought maybe the Rangers were due for a loss. That didn't really seem to happen. Will Jack Hughes break out tonight? Kinda. He just really saved a little face there at the end for the entire team. What will happen with Timo and Trouba? It's the first time Timo has been playing against the Rangers since last year's playoffs. Nico Dawes, 6 straight games. Lindy, what are you doing, buddy? I really thought he should have had the game off against the Capitals. At 6 straight. I don't know. I don't know if that's the smart way to go. But again, I am not a coach in the NHL. John Marino's back in, but Colin Miller back out. I don't know. Again, keeping the 3 youngsters in there who have been making mistake after mistake after mistake for quite some time. And once again, they made a few that absolutely burned the Devils. So first period starts out with a bit of a bang here. Cheap shot by the new guy, Rempe. Is that how you say his name? I don't even know how to say his name, actually. I just saw that he got in a fight with Matt Martin at the winner.
This is how you pronounce his name, Scotty. Suspended. Yeah,
he probably most likely will be suspended for a hit to the head on Nate Bastian. Not a good move there, bud. I don't think that's a good move. I get it. He's a tall guy and everything like that, but still, there was numerous penalties being discussed there. I'm glad Nate Bastian was okay. However, after and I will admit it, the clean hit that Jacob Trouba put on him before Nate Bastian decided to go all Ric Flair and headlock and wrestle Trouba down to the ice. I will say the hit that Trouba did, it was a big one, but it was clean. At least it was shoulder to shoulder. The Rempe one, no, it was not clean. It was directly to the head, and he'll be facing a nice fat suspension there and a fine. 3 games into his career, we can see how this one is going to play out. So either way, that was like 2 minutes into the game. He gets ejected, And I'll tell you what, I'm shaking in my pants over here because the Devils get a 5-minute major penalty. And what are the Devils absolutely horrible at right now? The power play. And I'm just sitting here thinking, A, they're not gonna score. B, it's gonna give all the momentum to the Rangers, and C, watch them give up a shorthanded goal. And almost all three things happened. It was almost all three, but Kreider on his shorthanded break put one off the post. In 5 minutes, the Devils get 5 shots, but really there was only maybe like 50 seconds or so of like sustained attack time. The majority of that 5-minute major penalty, they were chasing the puck as the Rangers were just clearing the zone. And I mean, I think it was obvious. Like the Rangers were right now, they're a better team. They're coached better, they're playing better, they're tougher. You know, after that hit, the Devils looked scared out there for quite some time. I don't want to admit it, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And they were looking a little scared out there. And that sucks. 5 shots on goal, 1 good possession, the rest chasing. Best opportunity, Kreider shorthanded break off the post. That's what I have in my notes over here for that 5-minute major. Kill gives the momentum to the Rangers. Then after that, the officials decide to give a phantom slashing call to Curtis Lazar for, going in on Shesterkin, trying to get the stick in there. A slash? I don't know. I don't think that was a slash. But either way, the Devils could not score in 5 minutes. It took the Rangers 5 seconds. Literally, 5 seconds to score a goal on their power play. Unassisted, Tamika Zibanejad power play goal at 9:14 of the first period. 1-0 Rangers. Now, this one was a bit of a lucky bounce here off of the face-off. The puck kind of ping-ponged around. Kreider did make a nice backhand pass to Zibanejad, who's on the wing, and then he kind of loses the handle of it, and the puck, like I said, ping-pongs around between a few skates, and it kind of just shoots right back to Zibanejad, and he kind of like half like it's not like he put like a whizzer on there. Like it was just kind of a lucky bounce off of his stick as well that went in on the near side here past Nico Daws. So a little puck luck going the Rangers' way, but hey, that's how the bounces go every now and then. Zibanejad is 19th of the year to put the Rangers up 1-0. And then Nico Daws had a huge save right after that. 2-on-1 rush. Panarin across to Adam Fox, who was charging up on the play, and Nico Daws came up huge. So I was like, okay, all right. He's not rattled. He's not rattled there. Had that weird bounce for the first goal, but Nico Daws is right back there. Haula had a nice poke check at the blue line, which sprang Tyler Toffoli on a breakaway. He drew a hooking call, and yet another power play. Guess what happened? The Devils didn't score. The Rangers had more possession on that power play than the Devils did, and then Trouba hooked down Jack Hughes. Somehow that wasn't called, and then maybe like 30 seconds later, Eric Haula takes a slashing call, and we go 4-on-4, and Luke Hughes makes another one of those bad Luke Hughes types mistakes. Behind the net, coughs the puck up. I'm not sure why. You can watch it on the replay, and Bryce Salvador broke it down really well. You got a 4-on-4. You got Nemec going behind the net over here. You got Luke going to the corner, and then you got Nico going towards the top boards over here. Get the puck up along the boards, either to Nico or back around to Nemec. And for some reason, he tries to stick handle it, pull it back to his backhand and to his forehand. And then when he goes to the forehand, he loses control of the puck, and it literally just floats out right in the middle of the slot where nobody is, because Nemec is going around the back and Nico is going to the wall over there thinking the puck is going to go the boards one way or the other. Who's right there? Lafreniere. And he puts one over the glove of Nico Daws. Tough one again to put on Dawes. Man, just a bad cough up again by Luke Hughes. And this is something we've seen throughout the course of the season. We've talked about it, the young defenders, but man, at some point you would think Lindy might take one of these guys out instead of having all three out there at all times. Even though I don't think Siegenthaler really played that well tonight either, but that's neither here nor there. At 17:56 of the first, the Rangers go up 2-0. Lafreniere gets his 15th of the year. Nate Bastian does come back to the game there right after that, so he returned at the end of the first period. Then I think a fight broke out in the stands because I saw everyone on the TV camera just kind of stand up and start looking towards the left, so I was assuming that a fight broke out in the stands. Someone will have to fill me in on that one. We move into the second. Rangers up 2-0. Devils get a break with Siegenthaler jumping on the ice, and the puck kind of hits his feet, and he tries to jump back off. Probably should have been a too many men on the ice penalty, but I think there's some technicality there where they didn't call it for one reason or another. Maybe they felt bad about the phantom slashing call that they called on Curtis Lazar in the first period that the Rangers scored on. I don't know. But the Devils had a little bit of luck there, not getting it too many men on the ice penalty at the start of the second. And then big hit, Jacob Trouba had one on Nate Bastian, who was coming up the wing, and Trouba is gliding back. And he at first, it looked like a cheap shot, because even Bryce Salvador said it on the broadcast. He's like, was that to the head? But it wasn't. When you look back on the replay, it was clearly shoulder to shoulder. It was a good hard hit. As much as I hate Jacob Trouba, I will say that was a good hard hit. I'm fine with that. And then Bastian, he looked pissed. He was like, what the hell? He slammed his stick down, and he chases Jacob Trouba down, grabs him by the back of the neck, puts him into like just straight up headlock style, and then they start wrestling. They kind of drop the gloves. I don't even know if either or got a punch in. Maybe each got like a punch in, but they wrestled each other to the ground. Nathan Bastian then gets an extra roughing call. They both get 5 minutes for fighting, even though they were wrestling. But Bastian gets the extra roughing call. So this is one you gotta kill off for your boy, PK. You got to come through here for Nate Bastian, sticking up against this guy, who's hit many Devils in his tenure on the Rangers. Some of them good hits. I'll admit that. Some of them good. Some of them not so good. Some of them cheap shots. Nate Bastian had enough of it. He's going to go and stick up for himself. And thanks, sweet Ozzy, the Devils were able to kill off that power play. Because if the Rangers scored there, man, that would have been brutal. But it doesn't take that long for them to go up 3-0 at 9:53 of the second period. Chris Kreider gets his 29th of the season, catching the Devils in a line change. And who caught the Devils in a line change? Igor Shesterkin. This was a heads-up play by Shesterkin. He's got the puck behind the net, and instead of dropping it to whoever was back there for the defense, Goodrow or Schneider or whoever, Adam Fox, he throws it straight up the ice to Panarin, who's just kind of waiting there at the blue line, and they move in, Panarin and Kreider, and he throws it across over there to Kreider, and he sneaks it in. Nico Dawes is sliding, bro. And Chris Kreider, hey, you got to kind of tip your hat to him. As much as you hate him as a Ranger, he's got that goal-scoring touch, and he sneaks it just in between the post and Nico Dawes' pad as Nico Dawes is trying to slide to get to the other side on that 2-on-1. Rangers go up 3-0. And then it's like, oh boy, 3-0. Are the Devils completely out of it? No. Time for redemption. Because I think it's Kakko takes a 4-minute double minor high sticking against Shimon Nemec. And it's like, all right, boys, come on. We've already failed on the major 5-minute. We've already failed on the regular 2-minute penalty. Then we give up a goal 4-on-4. You got a double minor. You got 4 minutes now. Come on. Let's put one in the back of the net. Yeah, nothing happens. Nothing happens. The best opportunity the Devils had was Timo Meier being set up for a one-time blast, and he literally just shot it right into the center of the chest of Igor Shesterkin. The Devils looked like they were trying to make way too many passes on this power play, and there were times where they just needed to shoot the damn puck. And they were trying to make this pretty play, move one, two. It was quintessential one too many passes. But unfortunately, it was one too many passes like 4 or 5 times. They did have some good looks. But how many games have we been saying that for now? Oh, they've had some good looks. They've had good movement on the power play. No goals. No goals. The power play, which saved them in the beginning of the year, I think, honestly, we're going to have to start going back to the declining the penalty. Remember 2 years ago when we were declining penalties because we were just bleeding shorthanded goals? I'd just rather see this team play 5-on-5 right now. Because the power play is just, it's a joke. And with this amount of talent on there, it should not be this atrocious. Just losing Dougie Hamilton. You know, I know before, okay, I'm going to give him a pass when Jack was out, when Nico was out, all these guys are banged up. But now it's just Dougie that's missing. It should not be this bad. And it is awful. Awful. I mean, if you look at the stats within like the last 2 months of the season, they have to be worst or next to worst in the league in power play. It's been a hindrance more than a positive. And then after we don't convert on the 4-on-4, Jack then goes and he draws another tripping penalty. Doesn't matter. Devils don't do anything. Decline the penalty. Penalty declined. Pick up the laundry off the ice. No flags on the play. Man. And then at 19:20 of the second period, Lafreniere gets his second of the game. He's able to split the D. That's right. He split the D after a turnover. Who passed it over to him? Trocheck. That's right. Passes it over to him. Lafreniere splits the D right down the middle. Nemec and Siegenthaler. And I get it. Siegs is just coming back from a broken foot, but he's not looked good in these 2 games back so far. They're again skating the opposite way, like just fading away from the play instead of collapsing on it. I don't know. So, Lafreniere is able to get kind of a little chip shot, and it was almost the same as the, I think it was the Zibanejad goal where he shot it. No. I'm sorry. It was Lafreniere. It was the same glove side going up. This time, the first one was like a rocket straight up past Nico Dawes after the Luke cough up. This one, he kind of chipped it almost like an off-speed pitch that then, again, went over the glove side of Nico Dawes. Dude is tired. 6 games straight. Lindy, come on. Akira Schmid should have started that Washington Capitals game. Should have gave him the day off after the big Stadium Series game. And let him rest up and get mentally prepared for this Rangers game, which we knew was going to be intense. 4-0. 4-0 Rangers there with Lafreniere. Second of the game, his 16th of the year at 19:20 of the second period. And the third period was basically just a sludge because the Rangers didn't have to do much. You know, they just had to kind of like play defense and chip it out and, you know, really nothing. They still get another goal. And they had numerous 2-on-1s, by the way, shorthanded. I think they had a 4-on-1 at one point in the third period as well. But Nico Dawes did make some big saves. I will say that. But when was it? 14:29 of the third period. Trocheck gets the 5th goal of the game for the Rangers. And this is Siegenthaler and Danico and Bryce Salvador kind of broke it down 2-on-1. And Siegenthaler is just going way too much to the one side over by Panarin. And if he stayed more in the middle, you know, maybe he can take away the pass. And that way, Nico Dawes just has to focus on the shooter. But since Siegenthaler drifts over to the other side, now Panarin has more of an opportunity to kind of slide that puck either through the legs or under the stick of Jonas Siegenthaler. And that's exactly what he did which means Nico Dawes has to dive the opposite direction back the other way to try and stop this shot. And he's got no chance to be able to do that, as Trocheck puts it home for his 20th of the year. 14-29, another even strength goal. Rangers up 5-0. This sucks. Jack Hughes then finally gets the Devils on the board. We know Jack always loves scoring against the Rangers. So Gentleman Jack breaks up the shutout there at 17:53, even strength goal. Holy Toffoli. Tyler causes a turnover as the Rangers are trying to exit the zone. And he feeds Jack, who goes into the high slot area, and he just lets one fly, and it beats Shesterkin through the 5-hole to get the Devils on the board and at least give them something to save face and not get shut out on their home ice against the arch rival Rangers, and then losing, 2 of 3 in a row that are against division opponents there. Just oof. So bad. I mean, this is a stretch of games where we've been talking, if this team wants to get into the playoffs, they got to be putting those points up on the board. And the Washington game, the Kings game that they lost 2-1, and now just getting absolutely blown out by the Rangers here. 5-1 the final. Shots on goal. You ready for this for the Rangers? 8-6-4 for a total of 18. They put 5 goals in the net on 18 shots. For the Devils, 16-11-13 for a total of friggin' 40. 40 shots. And I guess we have to do the Slayer Raining Blood tribute. I don't even feel like it, but we have to because it's more than 35 shots on net. So it was 40. 40 raining pucks from the Devils on the ice. And by the way, the Rangers block shots 30. Devils only had 7. Rangers out hit the Devils 26-17. Devils, always going to dominate in the face-off circle. 34 wins to the Rangers 25. Rangers 1 for 5 on the power play. Devils 0 for 5. And in that 0 for 5, they failed on a major, a double minor, a minor, and they let up a goal on a 4-on-4 and almost a shorthanded goal. And actually, there was another shorthanded break, I think, on the double minor as well, that Nico Dawes stopped. So just a terrible game all around. Not one that we want to see. Sam Woo was saying it's Friday. He wants to forget about this game already and move on. He's forgetting it's only Thursday. And guess what? The Devils have a back-to-back this weekend.
Oh boy.
Goody. Goody.
Only one day to figure it out.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume we're going to see new goaltender Isaac Poulter at some point this weekend. I hope. I think Nico Dawes obviously needs a break here. He did make some big saves, but he got hung out to dry as well these last 2 games with the defense just coughing the puck up and forgetting how to play defense a lot of times. And let's also, as much as I hate to do it, and trust me, it pains me in my heart to do this, but right now the Rangers are a damn good team, and they're playing really well together. They're solid, all 4 lines, up and down. So they went out there and tonight they showed that they were the better team. But we've seen the Devils bounce back from that before. Hopefully they will and put this together by the time the season wraps up and maybe make a run to the postseason. But this was a tough pill to swallow. Let's hear what you think about it on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. And we got to check in with the man who doesn't have a bag over his head, even though he wanted to. And he was munching. Let me tell you, we got a little picture in the first intermission of Sam Woo with a burger, fries, and wings. Look out, Mrs. Woo. Cover your ears. Cover your ears, Mrs. Woo. Let's check out what the king of the football calls. Sam! By God! Woo!
John M. says Sam is looking thin. He is on Ozempic, question mark, eating all those Sam salads at American Whiskey. Yeah,
It's
keep
just
the
the Sam
fat
salad,
jokes
that's
coming.
it.
Yeah, keep the fat jokes going.
It's just the Sam salad, that's all.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to address the Lindy Ruff issue right now.
Okay. Because I see a lot of things on there.
Yeah. Number one.
If it's not on the internet, Scotty, then it didn't happen. Thank you, Michael.
Number one. Sam Woo does not admit mistakes on live air. So I'm going to get that out of the way. Number two. I feel like in that scene in Major League when Pedro Serrano was having a bad time at the plate, and he talks to his bat, and he says to Joe Boo that, I defended you.
Sorry, mate.
Oh. These new bartenders never learn. Jesus. Anyway, so I was getting to the punchline, but whatever. So
Joe Boo, come on.
Yeah, Joe Boo, he talks to the bat in that scene right before he hits the home run. And then he says, F you, Joe Boo, I'll do it myself. I'm at the point defending Lindy Ruff. I'm at that point right now. Not yet, but I'm almost at that point. But I think what's happening right now, Scotty, and this is not making excuses, but has he lost a room or has he not? And I think that's a really good question. I don't think he has. But at the same time, 2 games in a row, this team has played uninspired hockey, and they got off from what they were having success after the All-Star break. Their defense was non-existent, and on top of it,
last 2 games, yeah,
and top it off, they have no power play. So not only can they not defend, but they can't score either. Do you blame Nico Dawes tonight?
No, I don't.
Again, it goes back to...
I think A, it's the defense, and B, I think he should have had the last game off.
Yeah. But Lindy Ruff is riding Nico Dawes right now. Say what you want, but who would you put Poulter in tonight? I wouldn't. He doesn't have any options. Right now he doesn't have any.
Last game. It should have been on the Capitals game. I mean, that was obvious to everybody. Now, Akira Schmidt should have started that game.
There's got to be.
If you want to send Schmidt down and get Poulter up there for that,
there's got to be a reason. There has to be a reason why he didn't start Schmidt. There has to be a reason. I don't think Lindy Ruff's an idiot. There's got to be a reason, but they're not telling us.
I have no idea, but I think it was very obvious that you needed to give Nico Dawes a break after the Stadium Series game. I don't know what the hell's going on. Ramona, I agree with you. They played scared tonight. They played scared. Beachmaster, the PP was poo-poo once again. How many times have we been saying that? 5-minute major. 4-minute double minor.
The Rangers basically handed to them and they didn't take it.
Yeah. That's 9 minutes of power play time in the first 2 periods. That's not even counting all the regular minors that they had as well.
Yeah.
So it's just the power play is a joke right now. The defense, I don't know what the hell happened because they were playing so good. Even in that Kings game that they lost, the defense was solid. That was a tough loss. And the Carolina Hurricanes game where they lost 1-0, the defense was solid. And it's like all of a sudden they just went back to playing the way they were like in the first, part of the season. I don't know if it's this man-on-man versus zone or whatever, but they fixed it for like 2 weeks. And now it's just back to like, I don't want to say garbage, but after tonight, that's the way the Rangers made it look.
They got to bring back Kataka up. He was doing just fine before he got sent down when Siegel came back.
I don't know why Miller John and Max, I'm not sure. I don't get it. Like, in my mind, sit one of the youngsters. They can probably use a little break mentally and physically, as well. Rotate them. I listen, I love Luke. It's not like we're saying we're going to trade him, but he might need to sit a game or two. Same thing with Nemec, same thing with Kevin Ball. You throw these guys out there in these situations against these teams like the Rangers or like the Florida Panthers, any of these top teams, they're gonna show them up. And they did tonight. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, Alexander Holtz makes one bad pass and he's benched for like the entire period. How many times have we seen Luke Hughes here? And I'm not trying to pick on Luke, but how many times have we seen him cough the puck up in the defensive zone there? That just leads to like grade A high danger scoring opportunities.
Maybe Lindy doesn't have the balls to do it because it is a Hughes.
I don't know. But something you gotta lay down the law at some point because players are gonna see that and it's like, well, why am I getting punished? But others can make these mistakes and nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
And remember what happened to Shiro. How long did he hang on to John Hines for?
Yeah.
And it cost him the job. Fitzy's got to start really looking into this. I don't know. I'm not all for just, fire the coach and blah, blah, blah. But there seems to be a fundamental issue going on over there right now. Where this team can look so different from one week to the next. And Travis Green, he's supposed to be the one in charge of this power play. And PK, the PK is actually doing pretty good. I'll give him that. But the power play it's embarrassing.
Well, they're just passing around the perimeter at this point, Scotty. There's no movement up front. There's no chaos. There's nothing down the middle. And they're not getting the shots to the net. And what are you going to do? They passed too many times as well. I think everyone.
The 4 minute there were way too many passes on that. Just way too many passes on it. Yeah. So they're nervous. They're squeezing their sticks because nothing's going in. How the hell has Timo Meier gone from 40 goals every year to this year?
Yeah.
What is going on? Sometimes there has to be those, quote-unquote casualties. And, sometimes it sucks, but I think if not now, it's got to be a very, plausible thought in Fitzy's mind right now. Do I need to make a change with this coaching staff? Will that shake him up?
Super chats, Johnny Danks, thank you. He says, remember when Sam Woo said Lindy is the best coach for this team? Yeah, but you're going back in time when I said that a year and a half ago. Everybody forgets the record season last year. So it's not like I was wrong in that aspect. But if you really want to live in the past, remember my tweet about Timo Meier that the Devils don't need him? How do you feel about that trade now? Want to ask the YouTube Live and Facebook Live. What do you think about that trade now? You lose a draft pick?
I would say many people are not as happy with it anymore. So
yeah.
But this play from this team has got to change, or there's going to be a major overhaul in this offseason. And right now, again, I know people have been clamoring for trades and everything like that. I don't think that's a smart idea. They need to just ride this one out. They're not a cup contending team this year. I wish they were, but they're obviously not. Don't go and do a New York Mets and pull off some bonehead trade that puts you in the hole and puts you backwards for the next 2 years just to try and salvage something. Don't trade away 3 or 4 pieces in desperation for Jacob Markstrom or something like that. That's not going to be the answer here.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was talking to a lot of season ticket holders tonight, Scotty. They raised the ticket prices about 10 to 12, 15%. And renewal, I think they have to the 28th to make a decision. If not, their credit card gets charged. And that's a hard decision to make, put on fans when they see this type of regression, the performance. And again, it's all about consistency. They haven't shown that they are consistent winners here. They have one great season, and right now they're even struggling to even be in the playoff race. Now, there's still time, but time's starting to run out here. But really, the deadline is at trade deadline. What does Tom Fitzgerald do? Right now, I think you should do absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Or acquire picks at this point.
Yes. And I really, if this team doesn't make some sort of drastic improvement over this weekend, really, Saturday and Sunday, if they go in and blow these games against Montreal, and I can't remember who they're playing on Tampa Bay, right? Don't they play Tampa Bay on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, which, again, and these are 2 home games where, of course, we struggle.
All right, so
Tampa Bay is the team we're chasing right now. So, and that's, of course, is the second game of the back-to-back against Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, too, Shorts Guy gave us the lowdown. He watched the press conference. Lindy called out the young defenseman mistakes. Just reading it verbatim. And, again, it's all about accountability at this point. There's got to be a shakeup. We can't go status quo from here on out right now. It's not working. There needs to be a shakeup. Fans say it's the coaches. You just gave Lindy an extension. You just gave Tom Fitzgerald an extension. They're not going anywhere this year. I don't think they're going anywhere this year. Or at least Lindy Ruff. He's not going anywhere this year. Tom Fitzgerald's in for the long haul. But it's up to Tom Fitzgerald to know when to give the axe.
Yep. And this was the problem with Shiro. He stuck with Hines way too long. So
yeah, but there's a big difference. There's a big difference between Hines and Ruff. Okay, Hines had barely gotten the playoffs, where Ruff had a tremendous season last year, and we can't forget about that either.
No, we don't forget about that season, but it's. You have a lot of the same team back here, and they're not performing the same way.
Yeah.
So there's definitely been a regression here with this team. And is it Burnett not being around? Is it that change over there? Is it just the young defenseman? That's a big difference. We talked about it. Damon Severson, Ryan Graves. Put those 2 guys in instead of pick your 2. Hughes, Nemec, or Ball. Flip those 2 with 2 of those 3, and you got a completely different story on defense. So why have they just been running them out there like that? I mean, I get it. There was a lot of injuries, but this is something that Fitzy's going to really have to address, and he's really going to have to look at. And I don't know. I'm not sure. I thought for sure Lindy would, no matter what happened, finish the season. But if they keep plummeting like this, I wouldn't be surprised if something happened. But I 100% agree with Sam Woo that this team should do nothing for the trade deadline. unless they're acquiring some sort of picks somehow or another.
Yeah, and you know what? If I was Tom Fitzgerald right now, I finished the year with Lindy, reevaluate in the offseason, depending upon what happens. You never know. They could turn it around. Or maybe they go even further in the pit. But it's time to start talking about possibly Kevin Dineen coming up. He's worked with these players down in up in Utica. And, and he's a good coach. He's a really good coach. So who do you bring from the outside, possibly?
I mean, Dineen's a good one. Berube's out there, who did wonders with the Blues. Again, it only lasted a couple of years, but Dubs just kind of threw something out here on the YouTube chat. Remember Lindy with the Stars? He had one good year.
Yeah.
And then they never returned to form. And I'm not trying to knock on Lindy Ruff or anything like that. We're just spitting out some facts here, because I think everyone is frustrated after this game, and they're frustrated by the way the team is playing.
Yeah. If I was going to pick a coach to replace Lindy Ruff, Bruce Boudreau.
Boudreau's another one who's out there. There's a lot. I think Fitzy's really going to have to really look into this. Burnett going to Nashville, I think, was a huge hit, because he might have been the heir apparent, but he was going to get snatched up, and he did.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
We have a lot of people on social media, Scotty, on the social media channels, watching live, and just want to do a little plug. JoinOurCrew.com. Get the latest on our next event. We had a great event at the tailgate on the 17th. We'll be traveling to Arizona and Vegas March 16th and 17th. We're going to be out there. Scotty's going to be there. Beer Baron's going to be there. Myself, Shorts Guy, Billy Dean of Hockey on Tap. Yeah.
Pisces season. That's right.
Yep.
And I see a lot of people throwing out Tyler Toffoli. Might be someone who gets moved to a contending team.
And I think you could get decent value in a trade if you trade Toffoli.
For Toffoli?
Yeah.
I would think so. Maybe we get some bigger guys. We need to be able to stand up to some of these teams.
Gregory Shaw said Miller, Lazar. Maybe time to break it up.
Lazar might, Colin Miller might. Curtis Lazar might end up getting moved. There's a number of guys on this team that could end up getting moved.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way this team is trending right now, because I just don't see them as a cup contending team. I don't see this as being the year that they're going to make that run. Maybe I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see this year has just been, to quote good old JR, it's been a slobber knocker of a year. With the injuries, the ups and downs, with this power play being like almost 50% for the first 2 months, and now being 0.5%.
No, it's negative. It's probably -% at this point.
It might be in the negative numbers, with the shorthanded goals they've been giving up.
Yeah.
It's the young defense. I don't know. I just don't see this as being that cup, run type of year, or even potential cup type of run. This is like a, hey, maybe we sneak into the playoffs type of year.
Yeah.
And who knows? They do have some talent, but I think you guys are bringing up some good. Can you be my therapist for the night? Max, I feel like I need one for after this Ranger game.
I know.
Man.
I know.
I was like, I want to turn this off, but I'm like, I can't. I'm like, but I want to turn it off, but I can't.
I started doing breathing exercises because I was so mad.
Nose, out through the mouth. Find that rhythm. In through the nose, out through the mouth.
I was doing meditation. Tom, I was doing meditation. That's why I didn't land in my seat till the third period. Because I was so mad.
Well, we'll find out. I'm glad that maybe Lindy's at least, from what Shorts Guy said, calling out some of this young defensemen, but he's got to put some action into that.
Yeah.
You know, how about maybe sitting one of them? And it's not just like, oh, we're... Maybe start rotating them in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
And get some more veteran defense back there. I don't know. Either that or we're just going to have to live with turnovers after turnovers after turnovers.
Yeah.
So, but either way, craptastic game. Are the Devils done? Believe it or not, they are not. They're still in the mix here. We're only a few points behind Tampa Bay, and we have 2 games in hand. And one of them this weekend is against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, the Devils, another one of their weak spots, been these back-to-backs. And we know they got a league high, 16, 17,
At least they're at home. At least they're at home.
Well, that's another sore spot. The Devils been terrible at home this year, so they're getting these opportunities to make amends here and to redeem themselves, Dumb and Dumber style, go out there and totally redeem themselves. But listen, they failed on a 5-minute major, a 4-minute double minor, and then multiple regular minors tonight.
Yep.
They got to get both of these games of this back-to-back this weekend. If they want to stand a chance before they come out my way the following week, to San Jose, Anaheim, and LA again.
Yeah. Johnny Danks.
Join our crew.
Look forward to the Woo Report this week.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Max. All the super chats. I know I've been just gabbing away over here, so I apologize. Well, tough night, but I want to thank all of you for coming on here onto the YouTube chat, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, everyone hanging out there at American Whiskey. Our girl Alejandra, I don't know if she's there. I can't see.
She's on the IR. She's on the IR.
Oh, okay. She's our girl. We love her. So we hope that she gets well soon.
Yep.
But Frank the Tank, we love everyone down there at American Whiskey. Have yourself an Ann Crew brew. They are delicious. I can confirm now that I've officially had one. And Ozzy knows I could probably use one tonight after watching this game. But unfortunately, they're not for sale yet here in the state of California. But when I do head back to New Jersey at some point, you know I'll be drinking me up some more Ann Crew brew. So don't forget to join our crew. QR code there. For when we do have these other events. Maybe you live in Vegas. Maybe you live in LA. Like me.
We travel.
We get around. So join our crew, and that's a good way to keep up with updates, as well, of course, the socials. Thank you, everyone. Some get by on less. No, you're not going to go play in traffic. No. Not yet. If Sam Woo doesn't have the bag over his head, if he can be talked out of that, you can be talked out of this.
Exactly.
But they got to win this weekend. And you know, Vinny Parisi, Sam Woo, Shorts Guy, myself, we're going to be back to cover it all for you with Game Day Live and Devils After Dark, hopefully talking about the Devils picking up a big 4 points this weekend. And one of those games is against the team that they're chasing, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, want to thank all those tuning in. Want to thank John M. for the compliment that he thinks I'm on Ozempic right now.
And Max, yes, Frogger like George Costanza, pushing it across the street back and forth in between the cars all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm back, baby!
Alrighty. Well, Scotty.
Tough night.
But it could all turn around by Sunday night. You never know with the back-to-backs.
No Michael Scott. My life! Oh, my life! He's going to stand on his garage roof.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you, everybody out there. Until next time, let's go Devils.